everybody. Good morning. Welcome in. Glad you're with us. Here it is, Longshore and McKnight. John Longshore, Barry McKnight, presented by Bud Light. Easy to drink, easy to enjoy. And we're glad we're getting the show kicked off in the right way. Theotis, already on the chat line, does not have the title of today's show.
Yeah, before we even get on the air, so to speak, if this is air, Theotis comes in with an opinion. He never has a difficult one. Today is episode 238.
Yep.
We are, let's see, let me check real quick. Let me check dates. We are 22 days away from the first football game of the college football season.
Yes.
It is Boise State at South Florida.
Ooh, really?
Is that right? On Thursday, the 28th.
It's a long trip.
We are also, according to my calendar, the countdown starts 10 days away from Longshore and McKnight having been a thing for an entire year.
That is true.
A year.
I
think it was August 16th. When we first unleashed this mega phenomenon out on everybody.
Unlike in our previous medium together, will there be a celebration? Will there be balloons and banners? Will there be a little bonus, whatever? That never happened in like 27 years or so, but I don't know. No hard feelings.
Yeah, it sounds bitter. Sounds more bitter than I do, but maybe Gurn Jr. can get one of the, I know he got some effects or something. Maybe Gurn can throw a couple of digital balloons across us and confetti or something like that. But out of all of that,
I will say this, not nothing against Gurn Jr., but he missed the song title by 6 days. And August the 1st was last Friday.
Right. Yeah.
That should have been the day because MTV launched on August the 1st. Of 1981?
I think it was 81.
81?
I think it was 81.
And the first video played was the Buggles with Video Kill the Radio Star.
The Buggles.
Yeah.
And I mean, I like that song. Plainsman Preston, he says the song after which this episode is named. That is terrific grammar, Plainsman Preston. Yeah. Terrific. The song after which this episode is named may well be the worst in history. Totally juvenile. Couple of points.
Well, I mean,
number one, you all of a sudden you don't like Totally Juvenile?
Yeah, no kidding.
To paraphrase Gordon Gekko, Totally Juvenile is good. Totally Juvenile will always have a place on
how
this
do you think
program.
We made it for so long?
That's right. Totally Juvenile. Number two, 238 episodes, and Gurn Jr. keeps having to come up with
how about that
song titles.
It's pretty impressive.
I know we've recycled a couple of them, but it's been difficult. I mean, we've had country songs, we've had pop songs, we've had heavy metal and all that. When we're on this thing, 6 or 7 years from now, Gurn Jr. is going to. He might be, and number three, it was not the worst song ever recorded.
No,
the worst song ever recorded was from Starship. And what was it? We Built This City.
We Built This City on rock and roll. It was actually voted the worst song of the 80s.
It was the worst song of ever. 80s, 90s, now, whatever.
So I'm going to send this to Gurn Jr. I'm going to help him out. I'm giving him 50 song titles because last week, and I have confirmed it, MTV debuted on August 1st of 1981.
Yep, remember, I was there.
I don't know. You can't. The glare's too bad, but I'll send it to you. It's the first 50 videos that were played on MTV.
Pat Benatar was in there.
Number 2.
A little respect on Pat Benatar.
You Better Run was the number 2 song. Rod Stewart was heavy in the rotation in the first 50 songs. Rod was ahead of the game. Somebody was talking about Rod Stewart yesterday, I believe. And he was the 3rd video, but Rod probably had 6 in the top 50. But anyway, I'll send this to Gurn, and he can use some of these titles that maybe Theotis will like, since he doesn't like the one today, which was actually the first video ever played.
Which, I mean, we can wear that. I mean, my gosh, we've had 238 shows. There's bound to be one that Plainsman Preston doesn't like, but As long as he likes the show, as long as he listens and subscribes, and he does.
Yep.
And hit the like button, and he does. Faithful guy. As long as you do as well. We hope you like the show. Even if you don't like the show title, that's subjective, and so is the show. But we feel like we've got a lot to do today. We feel like a lot going on. Of course, our staples on Wednesday. That is, of course, C.J. Duncan, former SEC receiver, former NFL receiver, going to join us. The Moneyline magician, Josh Harris, who was
he'll be here. Oh, yeah.
The receiver, not a former NFL receiver, but still plenty of content from him. There is a lot to get to.
There is, Barry, and I feel like it's this time of, I know we're early into preseason camp.
Yep.
But I feel like I owe it to our listeners, kind of like Judge Schmelz owed it to that guy he sent to the gas chamber.
The death penalty.
Yeah. Felt he owed it.
Didn't want to.
Yeah, didn't want to.
Yeah.
And I guess, I don't want to rain on everybody's parade and diminish the giddiness that I'm noticing out there. And
everybody get ready.
Start of the college football season. Barry just mentioned 20-something days away, whatever. Just let's tap the brakes a little bit. I'm just feeling way too much giddiness, and I get it. I know daily beat reporter and internet guy has got to have content, and I'm not pointing this out because I'm seeing it on Alabama sites, Auburn sites, Georgia sites, you name it, it's there. And I know they're, stimulating their subscribers and getting them all geeked up, but
we try to as well. Guilty. Yeah. We're guilty of that as well.
I'm just hearing and seeing and reading too much giddiness. Everything's great. Maybe these scrimmages coming up this weekend will kind of just calm everybody down and check them back into reality for a minute. And the reason I bring this up, because I do both think Auburn and Alabama are going to win in their opening games. But, you would think in reading and hearing and seeing some of this stuff, they're going to dominate 2 or 3 touchdown victories. Maybe it'll be the case. Maybe it won't. Sound like Phillip.
Only time will tell.
But the giddiness factor is, it is ramping up.
That's what it's for. There's 2 things I'm noticing. This is when you're supposed to be giddy as a fan, as a player. The first 5 days of preseason camp stink. They suck. The first 5 days are not designed to be fun. They're designed to get you into it. Now, and John knows this. I'm not saying this to John. Now, everybody's kind of, you're in it for 5 days. The newness is worn off. All of the, oh boy, here we are. Hey, I hadn't seen him since, last spring. Oh boy, this is going to be great. Man, we're going to go 12-0 as a player. 5 days into camp, you're thinking, geez, man, I'm wore out. We got classes Wednesday? Oh, it's a grind now. And, with the scrimmages coming up, some of them are not even until the weekend. Like Troy practices tomorrow night. Scrimmages tomorrow night. So it is a grind now. The newness has worn off for the players in camp. Now it's all grit and pluck and all the things that are song lyrics. But for the fans, John, here's what you're seeing. It's a combination of things. The fans are reading auburnundercover.com, and many of them, like me, skip right past Philip Marshall and go, for the latest.
Yeah. Today's article was a skipper. I guess got to tell you.
Well, he's been cranking out some stuff now.
There's no doubt.
His productivity has been much more impressive. Here's what you're seeing, though. Here's what the fans are seeing. Who are the early standouts from Auburn preseason practice? Jordan Crawford, Omar Mabson II, Elijah Melendez, Rayshawn Pleasant. Yeah. Hey, don't forget about Rayon Strader. And all the fans are going, this is going to be great. My sister once went out with a guy named Connor, just like Connor Lou or something like that.
Or Connor O'Gara.
The other thing is you'll also have, and John's right about this, he's mentioned this before, this is kind of the lull. All right, campus started. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. The fans are like, hey, man, who's going to be good? We need to stay away from injuries. That's important. All this kind of goofy fan stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But now nothing's going on. Nothing's happening. You're thinking, come on. So what you're seeing on the chat boards, I don't know if anybody gives him enough credit, but, Marquise Mays was pretty good. I hope this guy, Horton, is everything I wanted Terry Givens to be.
Yeah.
Isaiah
Horton. Yeah. I'm hearing a lot about this guy, but
all this kind of stuff. All the fans are like, I really think Brian Bergdorf got a raw deal. They're not talking. They're so thirsty for football, and nothing's really going on. They're supposed to be going on. Why aren't hearing anything?
Yeah,
I'll tell you who else was good was such and such and so and so. So it's a combination of things, right?
And now. Chris the Bammer makes a good point. He normally does. It'll be even worse Saturday. After these scrimmages, then it'll really get going. It'll be cranking. And look, I'm not discounting it. I want it. But my phone's going to be dinging a lot on Saturday.
Freshman walk-on just made a huge run.
Yeah.
That's because freshman defensive tackle got blocked to the ground.
Yeah.
And left a huge hole,
And I want it. I'm not discounting it. I really enjoy it. I'm loving the information. I mean, Barry, sometimes I get videos attached to them. How about that?
Ooh, these guys that'll get you thrown out now.
Well,
that'll get you thrown out. You better be careful, because the first time those coaches or grad assistants or analysts or assistant director of media relations see you with that.
Oh, yeah. Woo. I got one guy, Barry. I'm not going to say anything. I'm not going to.
I don't care how much you donate.
I'm not going to reveal my sources, but I got one guy that's been sending me videos for years. And if he was able to get that through the Saban era, I think he can probably do it. Whoever's up there coaching.
We need to send him to North Korea. If he can get one by Saban, he can get one by Kim Jong-il or whatever that guy's name is.
So I'm not knocking it by any means, but Saturday we're going to see a lot more, and we're going to hear a lot more, and people are there again. Chris is right. It'll be ramped up both in Tuscaloosa, Auburn, Athens, Knoxville, you name it. It'll start ramping up, and then we'll get into game week, and it'll really start getting ramped up. And I did see, speaking of game week, I think this is going to happen maybe a little before game week. But I believe Kalen DeBoer made a statement earlier this week that he will announce who the starting quarterback is about 10 days before the start of the season in Tallahassee. Most people already believe it's going to be Ty Simpson.
It will be. It will be.
But this an official announcement will be made.
Yeah, this is the coronation ceremony. Everybody knew Elizabeth II, a little bit, was going to be, Queen of England.
Yeah.
But they had to go through the whole thing. That's what this is going to be. We all know. Also, on the program today, I told you to watch out for two things. I watched one of them. Didn't watch HBO's Hard Knocks last night on HBO Max. Didn't watch that one. That one debuted last night, the Buffalo Bills. Now, the other one I told you about on Netflix is Any Given Saturday. It is a Netflix deal. It's not an SEC produced deal. It's not a produced deal by the schools or anything. This is, by gosh, Netflix, who was everywhere last year in the SEC season.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I watched the first one. There are all 7 are out. I think there are only 7. Maybe there's more, but 7 of them are out. It's not like regular TV where, here's the first one, or, here's the second one. This is where JJ paints a postage stamp on his head, but Florida Evans says no, and, Bookman comes up and, catches him doing it or something like that. It's not like you have to wait for every episode. And that's where the important thing lies. Some of you guys out there, you see that, you heard, hey, this is what Longshore McKnight we're talking about any given Saturday. Honey, I'm going to sit here and watch this. And you watch all 7, don't do that.
No.
Pace yourself. Because now, today, you're thinking, how long until the season starts?
That's right.
4 days? Pace yourself. I watched the very first one. It was pretty good. It was
They call it binging, Barry. People on a Saturday or Sunday afternoon when it's raining will watch like 4 episodes of some Netflix series. I just can't do that.
You blow right through it. Yeah. You blow right through it all, especially some of those British shows that we watch on PBS. and it's 2 years before they tape another series. And
That's
you're sitting
right.
there, okay, you watch them all in a weekend, then you got to wait 2 more years. It's like this one. Yesterday, watched the first episode. It was great. It was really, really good. Mostly South Carolina and LSU, and goodness, how soon we forget how. But it was those mostly, and it was well done. Shane Beamer was great. Brian Kelly was pretty good. A lot of language. And I'll watch another one maybe next week, and then the week after that, or time it out to where I'm done with it by the start of the season. But hey, again, much recommendation. Love that program.
I will say this. My mother told me long ago, and I'm sure yours did too. If you can't use a nice word, just don't even say anything. Don't use a bad word, cuss word, whatever.
Right.
It kind of goes along with, if you can't say anything nice about anybody, just don't say anything at all.
Yes.
But the reality of it is there will be some choice language. Not every program, not every coach.
Right.
But there's going to be some. And, heck, when I was growing up, I heard it in junior high and high school ball. I don't know if that's the case today. Probably.
And a lot of it was directed at him.
Yes,
loudly
it was.
Enough to where he could hear it clearly. Yeah.
And that's why I think I've got such thick skin today, is what I went through back then. But
the lessons he learned.
Yes. Believe me, there's a lot of lessons you can learn not opening up a book. Not to say those aren't important. I found that out myself. They're very important.
Come on, kids. Yeah.
But the reality of it, and I think it gives it more of a real feel of what football is like when you do see things and the coaches are getting a little animated with their instructions or directives or their feelings, and they might use some choice language.
Yep.
There again, you don't want to see it or hear it in some situations, but I do think it gives it a realm of reality when you see it on a Netflix. I mean, I mentioned this Fox Nation series about Alabama that they had on this spring, and the assistant coaches, I mean, the paint was peeling off the wall.
Yeah.
So there again, I mean, you don't want to talk like that at the dinner table, but in a football sense, you're kind of going, wow, now that's realism. That's what's going on in a locker room. You hear that from time to time. And for them to, because you would think they'd want to present it as this just polished, squeaky clean. Oh, this is what college football is great. And everybody hugs each other and everything's great. Well, no, it's not. I mean, there's some
Brian Kelly. Brian Kelly, he'll let a few fly. Yeah. So
I just kind of always chalk that up to life lessons. I mean, you don't go home and talk like that, but in the locker room, you might hear some things that are said that are kind of used to strengthen the coach's point of view,
to emphasize what he is trying to get across to you. So anyway, recommend that. It's Netflix. It's called Any Given Saturday. 7 episodes are out. I've watched the first one. I'll watch the second one maybe next week or whatever, but thoroughly recommend it. I knew it'd be good. And
I think, Barry, every team is featured, but about 4 in the SEC, if I read that correctly or saw it. Not every team is a part of this. Alabama's not a part of it, I don't believe.
I didn't see a whole lot about Texas, to be honest. Maybe it's later on. Auburn is in it. Tennessee is in it. I think Tennessee's in the next episode.
I think I read 4 schools declined, and Texas and Alabama were 2 of them.
We'll have to have somebody give us a real good reason why. Is it, being paranoid? I don't want them in our locker room. Or it's not just locker room. Brian Kelly in a wine snifter sort of deal with his people and stuff.
My first thought, Barry. I mean, we don't need that. We're already popular enough. I mean, I certainly hope programs don't think of themselves that way.
Everybody would benefit from that. Recruits are looking at that. They're seeing a camera following behind Lenora Sellers at South Carolina as he enters the field with the fire extinguishers. That'll geek you up.
Sure. Exposure, you can't get enough of it.
No doubt. He's John Longshore. I'm Barry McKnight. We are underway with our Wednesday live show. It's Longshore and McKnight in association with Yellowhammer News, presented by Bud Light.
Ford announces employee pricing on every new 24 and most new 25 Fords and only at Stivers Ford in Montgomery, up to $5,000 below employee pricing, plus no payments for 90 days. From America, for America, at Stivers Ford in Montgomery, home of America's best-selling truck for nearly 50 years in a row, the F-150, with hundreds to choose from. The Ford Escape, the Ford Edge, and the Ford Bronco, all priced at thousands below invoice. And pack up the crew in a Ford Expedition or a Ford Explorer for the beach, the lake, or the big game. It's all at Stivers Ford in Montgomery, where price sells cars.
On the basketball court, the soccer pitch, or even the golf course, your crew brings their best not just for the win, but for that post-game celebration. When victory tastes like Michelob Ultra, it's worth every drop of sweat. And if you don't win, you'll still get the beer. It's just on you. Superior is worth playing for. Michelob Ultra, 2.6 carbs, 95 calories. Superior light beer. Enjoy responsibly. Copyright 2025, Anheuser-Busch Michelob Ultra Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Don't miss your chance to win big at Victoryland Casino. Play the latest, hottest, most exciting games around with fun bonuses and big jackpots. Don't miss out on your free play. Stop by Player Awards today and check out this month's exciting free play promotions. Come see why our players keep coming back. You'll have more fun at Victoryland Casino, where you can be a winner too. Victoryland Casino, located off I-85 exit 22, Shorter, Alabama. Must be 21 or older.
All righty, welcome back in. About 21 minutes past the hour on the live edition. And if you're watching later in the day, it's probably still 21 minutes past the hour whenever you're watching. It could be 3 p.m.
I always wonder whether, John gives the time, if it's appropriate. I give the time in relation to the show. We're 21 minutes in and everything. Because, you may be watching it at 2 o'clock in the morning. You never know.
That's why I always say the second hour. Instead of, hey, at 8 o'clock, because people go, wait a minute, it's not 8 o'clock. But we do appreciate however you may consume our content, whether it's live from 7 until 9. You can catch it so many ways. Yellowhammer News, yellowhammernews.com, Facebook, YouTube, Spotify, Apple iTunes. We're on X and Instagram. So many ways to check us out and content. Hit that like, hit that subscribe button. You'll never miss anything that drops, and we really appreciate everybody tagging along and being a part of what we do. And we've talked a lot about it. We certainly see the growth. We see the numbers and really appreciate it. Facebook has been extremely good for us, I understand, Barry.
On YouTube, of course, but Facebook, people have asked about Facebook. Here's what you do. You just go to the Yellowhammer News Facebook page. You can watch us at, like John said, yellowhammernews.com as well, but you can go to Facebook, and we have a lot of people that do that. Just search Yellowhammer News on Facebook and go to their Facebook page, and we're right there. You can, a lot of people like to do this. A lot of people like to put us up on their smart TV.
Yeah.
85-inch TV, Longshore and McKnight. That'll almost get our heads to actual life size.
No kidding.
85-inch TV. So
you know what I've been impressed with?
You're watching us on the big TV. I feel like, the Attack of the 40-Foot Woman or something.
I know it. Man, they got us in the clubhouse at the RTJ locations, which is awesome. Our guys
tell me that.
At Capitol Hill and Cambrian Ridge, we really appreciate those guys popping us on in the mornings. And I've been kind of impressed, really, with our age, our kind of demographic that might not be as in tune with what the younger demographic is up to. But, man, they figured it out. They know how to find us, whether they're, listening to us in their cars, on their smart speakers at work, or whether they're watching. And as you mentioned, watching at their convenience. It might be 2 p.m. We do know a lot of people do that. And we really appreciate that here on the program. So keep them coming. And we appreciate the chats on our River Region Straw chat line. Obviously, you can email us as well, longshoreandmcknight@gmail.com.
Later on today, just things to watch out for. Later on today, the SEC men's basketball schedule comes out. You already know a few of the non-conference games.
Yeah.
But the SEC schedule comes out later on today. So something to look out for. Other than that, it's not really newsy. Braves lost again.
Ooh.
Yep. Yep. And the question is begged from the moon. Have the Braves started making trades, Barry? They really haven't. And again, it gets worse and worse. Their best player, Ronald Acuna, put on the disabled list again. He's got a tweaky hamstring or joint or something like that.
You know, obviously,
not
John,
really news anymore.
Yeah, obviously, John from Wetumpka is giving up on the Braves. He was at a Rod Stewart concert over the weekend. I mean, did you not want to go see the Braves play? No, you don't, because they're losers. So you go see Rod Stewart, who can still shake it, from what I understand, at 80 years old. What's he, hot legs? And do you think I'm sexy?
Doesn't it feel weird, though? And I love Rod Stewart. I really do. Doesn't it feel weird to watch an 80-year-old man up there in tights and big hair singing, "Tonight's the night"? No, it ain't. Maybe for a bowel movement. It ain't for what he normally originally intended the song for. Come on.
Can he still hit those highs? I mean, at 80 years old, that's kind of tough. Little Maggie May can probably hit that one pretty good.
Yep.
But yeah.
So an 80-year-old guy's trying to make a living at a play-in pool? No, come on. The lyrics just don't fit anymore for Rod.
But I'm thinking, not really to needle or to pick on John from Wetumpka, but what I'm getting at, all this bad news I'm hearing about the Braves, how is that affecting attendance? You know, all these loyal, supportive Braves fans, are they thinking, done, over? Nah, I'm not wasting my time with them.
Yeah, let's
this fan base that was, just loves their Atlanta Braves. Wonder what those attendance figures are like. I hope they're still up there, up to par.
Okay, they played the Brewers last night in Atlanta. And the Brewers are all that. The best 60-game stretch in club history, and they beat the Sox off the Braves. They win it 7-2. I'm looking at it, but I'm looking at it for a box score.
Yeah.
And I don't see an attendance. Here we go. Box score, attendance. I think the place holds something like 42,000, something like that. Attendance, 30,642. 30,000.
Come on.
642.
On a Tuesday night, really? And it's hot and it's rainy.
Yeah.
Now, so there again, are they using because I guess the tickets are scanned.
Yeah.
So I guess there's a way that they could see how many scans there are. But, I've always been a little suspicious of the official attendance guy. Back in the day, you would hear the guy on the PA at Legion Field say, today's attendance at Legion Field is a Southeastern Conference record 77,427. Wait a minute. How do you know that? It's who counted all those tickets? I don't believe it. So they just kind of eyeballed it and threw a number out there and they put it in the paper. Now, I'm not saying they're eyeballing it today, but I'm thinking there might be fudging on those numbers a little bit.
Unless they help prove his point, then, oh my gosh, these are legitimate. I really appreciate Rhoda Vaughn being so diligent in counting every ticket. If it's something like the attendance for the for the Auburn game, the first home game, South Alabama, 87,214. John immediately. Really?
I don't know about that.
I saw some empty seats. I saw the band must have been.
I'm wondering, Barry, are they including, the media and the ushers and the concession stand staff and the security and the parking attendants and everybody else, or is it just tickets? I'm wondering. So my brother-in-law, who lives in Atlanta and is a big Braves fan, as are his two young boys.
Sure.
They have the Braves jerseys that they wear a lot. He sends me a screenshot of the Major League Baseball attendance report for 2025. This is from ESPN, so it's got to be legit. And the Dodgers lead the nation with close to almost 3 million through 58 games. Then the Yankees, then San Diego. Go Padres. I mean, they've been catching a lot of crud. It's the only game in town, but obviously they love the Padres in San Diego.
You ain't got to worry about rainouts very much. If they're scheduled, they're going to play just like a dome team, except nicer.
Then Philadelphia, the Mets, the Cubs, and at number 7, allegedly, are the Braves through 54 games, 1,984,000.
Almost 2 million.
That's then San Francisco, Boston, Houston, Toronto, the Angels, Milwaukee, Colorado, Texas, and Arizona. I probably don't have to look at the bottom, but that's based on they play in a stadium that only holds 10,000 people.
Talking about the Rays.
The Tampa Bay Rays. So, okay, the Braves close to 2 million through 54 games. I don't have my calculator with me, so I don't know what that averages out to, but I'm not calling
Bravo Sierra.
Yeah, that's what I was looking for. But
yeah,
I'll tell you, people that are baseball fans, they're sticklers for that attendance. Oh no, I'm telling you, well, people are going. Okay, all right, but I'm just saying, Barry, I hope they stay with them through 54 games.
Nobody believes you. Nobody.
Through 54 games, almost 2 million fans have showed up at Truist Park. Don't leave them hanging. Don't.
You know why?
Now.
You know why? You know what this tells me more than the real reason why is not the Braves are on their way to yet another National League Eastern Division title and another playoff spot and another successful year. It's because of baseball. Baseball. Y'all stop texting him while we're making, because he'll laugh in the middle at your text. He's got no internal filter. So, he's like, oh, or he'll laugh. And Braves are 18 games under 500. They have lost 65 of their 112 games.
It's tough.
And people are still coming. That's because it's baseball. Now, point of order from Bill from Baltimore. Do they count John as a half of an attendee if he leaves early? Once you're scanned, you're scanned. Once you're in, you're in.
Yeah, true.
Kind of like the machine.
They don't ask you when you leave. And certainly we've seen games where upper decks get a little thin.
Yep.
As a matter of fact, I've seen the upper decks in the end zone thin at kickoff. More on that later.
Yep.
But have I left games early? Yes, I have. It's funny, Bill, that you asked that, because I just thought of an Alabama Southern Miss game that was at Legion Field probably 25 years ago or so. And at halftime, I was sitting there in the press box next to Paul Feinbaum, and we're just shooting the breeze. He looks at me and says, let's go get lunch. I thought he meant we were going to the concession area there at the press box.
So you turned him down.
We got in the elevator, left the stadium, got in his car, and went to somewhere in Bessemer and had lunch. And then he dropped me back off at the stadium. We're there in about the fourth quarter, the 8-minute mark. I got my car and went home.
Never went back in?
Never went back in the game. It was great.
Was it that game that Southern Miss won it 21-0 and Snake was about to jump out of the radio booth?
I believe that was Stallings' first year. Brett Favre was the quarterback and beat him. I was at that game too. Yeah. Southern Miss kicked a field goal late in the game to win it. But
that was the year they started 0-3 and everybody was ready to run him out of town, because I was at one of those games. I was at the Alabama-Florida game.
But in all seriousness, folks, come on. Don't bail on the Braves. Keep these attendance numbers up. I mean, what do they play? 80-something home games? So they got about 30 home games? 81. So they got about 30, a little less than 30 home games left. Don't bail on them. Don't treat them that way. Show them the love. Support your Braves. Just because they're not going to make postseason and they've tanked it and they're double digits games out of first place, hey, you got to stick with them through thick and thin.
Nobody believes that. I'm surprised that you did that little diatribe in a straight face. I mean, I can't. When you got started, I'm thinking, I'm going to lay out here. I'm going to see what John's got to say. I don't think he can get through that whole thing, and he did. It wasn't even a grin. There wasn't even a chuckle. There wasn't a lip flutter. There wasn't a throat clear, which is normally the case. Any of that. Huh. How about that? Well, wonders.
Yeah. Hey, John from Wetumpka says Rod Stewart's voice is awesome at 80.
Oh, okay.
Was it his voice or were they piping that in? Was he lip syncing? Just asking. I've heard some people do that for certain songs.
Yeah, I just don't know that it sounds legitimate anymore. Again, because ain't nobody gonna stop us now. Yeah, they will.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah, they will. The lady at the old folks' home, she'll come in and give you your tapioca and your nighttime sleeping pill, and you'll.
How do you go from we built this city to, was it White Rabbit? They had it when they were Starship?
Oh my gosh, yeah, that was when they were Jefferson Airplane.
And how do you go from those two extremes?
Well, they had they had kind of a change in personnel.
Or even Jane. I mean, that rocked. I mean, that's
great
guitar.
With Mickey Thomas.
Oh yeah, who I had a brush with greatness with. I've actually had a brush with greatness.
Who was that guy that said, "Hey Barry, Jeopardy boy"? It was Mickey Hart or somebody like that. Nope, Mickey Thomas, who also sang the lead to Elvin Bishop's "Fooled Around and Fell in Love." Don't get me on that. Let's. Hey
Barry, so John wants me. He thinks Bama's attendance against La Mo is not going to. He's going to not be good. He says something about Bama.
No. Will they fudge the attendance? Not that it won't be good, but will it be truthful?
I'll say this
is what he's asking.
I believe that game is a night game. I think I saw that. It's like a 6:00 kick on SEC Network. It's the first home game.
Here we go.
And if they beat Florida State, which they're a double-digit favorite to do, but they were last year twice a double-digit favorite on the road. We know what happened.
Yep. ULM is at 6:45.
Okay.
In week 2.
At the kickoff, John, it will be. There might be a scattering of empty seats in the end zone upper decks. By the end of the game, no doubt there'll be empty seats. No doubt about it. Middle of the third quarter, there'll be empty seats. Now, they could beat Georgia on the road. They could beat Tennessee. They could beat Wisconsin and LSU. And they could be, whatever it would be, 11-0, 10-0 at that point. They will be playing at home right before the Iron Bowl against Eastern Illinois. Oh, empty
a chance to win the SEC championship, a chance to cement their place in the college football playoff, a chance to keep momentum going for a national championship. When Eastern Illinois rolls in on November the 22nd, 1:00 in the afternoon, there'll be empty seats there.
No doubt about that.
For that ESPN Plus.
No
telecast.
Doubt about it. Though there will be plenty of tickets available for that game. I can promise you that. I can tell you, actually, 2 seats that'll be empty for the Lamo game and the Eastern Illinois game.
Hey, there we go. There's a celebratory bonus.
I'm going to go ahead and tell you right now. When we get back, our man Jason down in Troy has an interesting comment on the chat. I'm going to look this up when we get back from my Caesar's Palace sports book sheet that I brought home from New Orleans over the weekend about 2 teams that he's talking about here that I want to dig a little deeper into.
Yeah, we'll definitely do that. He's bound to be a 85-inch TV guy watching us there, not on a laptop or on his phone or something like that. We are underway, still to come, top of the hour, CJ Duncan from Yellowhammer News. It's Longshore and McKnight in association with Yellowhammer News, presented by Bud Light.
Phoenix Physical Therapy is ready to help patients recover, recharge, and rise. They develop a customized therapy plan for each patient to get them back to enjoying their favorite activities. Their experienced team is committed to providing exceptional care in a professional environment. Whether you're looking to prevent or treat an injury, recover from a recent illness, or recuperate from surgery, schedule an appointment with our clinic and take advantage of our physical therapy, athletic training, workers' comp, and employer solutions service. Experience elevated physical therapy today. Call Phoenix Physical Therapy at 239-9316. That's 239-9316.
Located just 8 miles north of Alabama's state capital, Capitol Hill features 3 18-hole championship courses. With more than 1,500 acres of golf and nature, the pure magnitude of this facility is amazing and allows each course to be drastically different from the others. Capitol Hill also features an innovative 360-degree driving range, 400 yards in diameter. Capitol Hill offers a fully stocked pro shop with the latest equipment and apparel. Great food and beverages in the clubhouse can be enjoyed both before and after your round. Get your group together and hit the trail. Go to rtjgolf.com/Capitol Hill for tee times and more information. Okay, welcome back in, everybody. About 20 minutes to the top of the hour. C.J. Duncan, Yellowhammer News, will join us then, get his thoughts about preseason camps underway around the country. Jason down in Troy says Southern Miss will be much improved this season.
Yep.
New staff from Sunbelt Conference champs, Marshall, which also means they brought most of their roster.
Bought as well. Yeah, that was in relation to, John was talking about, what was it, Brett Favre leading Southern Miss to a late field goal to beat Alabama while John was eating at the Bright Star or something like that. Bill from Baltimore said, speaking of Southern Miss, they used to be a nice program with some good success, but they've fallen off a bit. Yeah, they've been putrid.
Yeah.
They've been horrendous lately. And since they've been in the Sun Belt, they've been bad. And Jason, that's where he points out, Southern Miss will be much improved this season. New staff from the SBC champs Marshall, former Alabama assistant coach Charles Huff, who left Marshall, couldn't wait to get out of Marshall, evidently. That also means they bought most of their roster. Their quarterback was the offensive player of the year in the SEC and the Sun Belt last year, Braylon Braxton. He's at Southern Miss now with Coach Huff, and they did a lot. They've got some money in Hattiesburg. They will spend, and they've gotten a lot of good football players. They should be much.
So Barry, that's interesting stuff. But Vegas isn't buying it. Maybe there's some value here.
Well, they got a ways to go, but I mean they're much better.
Well, their season win total is 5.5.
Ooh, I like it.
5.5 for Southern Miss. 50,000 to 1 to win the national title. They're not going to win the national title.
It doesn't seem so. But
Under 5.5. I will tell you this, Barry. I made a couple of wagers at Caesars. I'm going to let you know on this future. And the one that I like the most is a team that is at 7.5. I'm going to go down at the next break and get my ticket so I can show you.
Okay.
Auburn at 7.5. I bet over 7.5.
I like that.
With the Auburn Tigers.
May not be much. I thought it was in poor taste 2 days ago when I got a text from somebody with a graphic. It was a graphic of an AU logo, the interlocking AU.
Uh-huh.
And on one side it said 8, on the other side it said 4. And they said, happy 8-4 day for all of those who celebrate. Because it was the 4th of August. Hey, 8-4. Happy 8-4 day to all of you who celebrate in War Eagle and all that.
You know, Barry,
and it wasn't from John. I just want to make that clear. Yeah.
I'm kicking myself because basically I coined the phrase
perennial
8-4 program.
Yeah. Two things about Southern Miss. They got 2 tough home games that I'm not sure that I don't think they're going to win. One of them is their opener on Saturday, August 30th at 11 in the morning on ESPN. They'll get some exposure because Mississippi State comes to Southern Miss to open the season. First 3 games are at home. And the final game of the year. The first game is Mississippi State in Hattiesburg. Last game is against the Troy Trojans in Hattiesburg. And Troy spanked them pretty good the last couple of years.
I don't get it. I really don't. Maybe, you just don't, there again, we're talking about things as we grew up that you shouldn't say. Another line I remember hearing, we don't talk about things like that. If you said something about maybe somebody else or some other family or whatever,
right?
Your mother go, we don't talk about things like that.
Yeah.
Maybe we shouldn't talk about things like, why in the world is Mississippi State playing at Southern Miss? I'm not an investigative journalist, but I'd like one of them to dig in and do some research and figure out why in the world does an SEC member school have to go to Southern Miss, Troy, UAB? Where else are they going? some other.
They've been to South Alabama.
Yeah.
Coming up, they've got a home and away. Mississippi State comes to Troy in mid-September 2027. They have a home and away against Southern Miss. Got a home and away against Tulane, which John gives them a bit of a pass on for that.
That's okay.
Yeah.
That's okay. I wouldn't mind if Alabama did that. But anyway,
they cannot pay the big money to have the big, huge intersectional game. They do not have that big money, so they'll go 2 for 1 with a smaller school. Okay, we won't have to, and they don't. We won't have to pay you that much for you group of 5 schools to come to Starkville, because we'll give you a home game.
Yeah, so they do have Arizona State coming to. That's their Power 5 non-conference opponent, because every school in the league's got to play.
Yeah, and they played
a Power
Arizona
5
State
non-conference.
Yeah,
and they played Arizona before, I believe. They played both the Arizona schools.
They've got like Washington State home and away.
Yeah.
They've got Minnesota home and away.
That's
They've
right.
got Arizona State. They got Texas Tech home and away. Stuff like that. So they do have them, just not.
I'm thinking, and maybe Vanderbilt's played at Middle Tennessee before. I want to say they played Georgia State last year on the road, got beat.
They sure did.
So
they sure
I don't
did.
know
They
what
played
it is.
Middle Tennessee in Murfreesboro. They have done that too. Yes.
Yeah. So I don't get it. And it's like Chris the Bammer says, Bama playing South Florida. That was a 2 for 1. South Florida's, if they concluded that schedule, I don't know if South Florida's coming back. Maybe they played them enough, but they went to Tampa and played it where
Raymond
the Buccaneers
James.
play.
Raymond James.
And then South Florida came here. I really don't know why they did that. Did they just want to get into the Florida market? I don't know. But Southern Miss, Mississippi State has done this with several schools.
Yeah.
I don't get it.
It's finances, and anyway, that's what they say. And I'm thinking, you get $100 and something million from the SEC, it seems like. You shouldn't have to do that, but I'm all about it. I'm looking forward to 2027. They come to Troy. They've been to Troy before.
Sure.
Alabama. I know Alabama fans who are griping that Alabama, for some reason, has a home and away against Georgia Tech. Georgia Tech, a home and away against Virginia Tech. What are we doing?
I don't like
Virginia
that.
Tech,
Yeah.
Even that's not big time enough.
Yeah, the Georgia Tech, I don't really have that. Excuse me. I don't have that big of a problem with, because I got a feeling those games are going to be played at Mercedes-Benz Stadium.
Yeah, they ain't at Grant Field, no.
And I want to say the Georgia Tech game is going to be at Grant Field this year, if I'm not mistaken. It's on a Friday. It is. It's at Mercedes-Benz Stadium. It is. They are doing that. So I got to see that.
Georgia Tech selling out there. They're selling out their principals or whatever.
Yeah.
Because they're giving up a home game. It's in Atlanta. It's not that far away from their campus, maybe a mile, maybe 2. But you and I both know 80% of the seats are going to be taken by Georgia people.
Sure. And you mentioned Tulane. They have their own on-campus stadium now. They don't have to play in the Superdome, but I would think if they played, if Alabama came to town, I would think they'd play that game at the Superdome.
They're not playing at 25,000 seat Ullman Stadium on the Tulane campus.
I wouldn't think so,
No.
but I don't know. That's always bugged me. I'm with you, Barry. Why go to Virginia Tech? The Blacksburg? Nah, I don't have any. No. How do you
Beautiful place. I was there back in the spring with baseball. Beautiful place, wonderful place, salt of the earth. I don't know when anybody's. It's Power 5.
Yeah.
They've played in national championship games. Vic took him 1 year, and they lost to Oklahoma, I think, something like that. But
how do you get to Blacksburg?
It ain't easy. It was part of a 12-day road trip. I remember, because I was on this show from the hotel for about 2 straight weeks. It's in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
And they, beautiful stadium, nice, crazy fans, Enter Sandman, like look my nose down at that. I mean, this is the problem that athletic director Longshore runs into when he talks about 9-game schedule and quality non-conference opponents. On the surface of it, seems like a pretty rational thing. If you're not the coach, and by the way, coach, you got to win all those games.
Yep.
Here's the thing about it. Here's the logical disconnect from John. John only thinks there are about 5 or 6 programs in the country that are worthy of being on. Well, if John is putting together a non-conference schedule, he's going to have some, by gosh, unattainable standards. Washington, no.
I was having lunch with Cowherd earlier this week. I thought he made an interesting point. Yesterday's 12-0. Everybody had to go 12-0. Well, today it's 11-1. You're going to lose a game somewhere down the line in a 12-game season in where college football is today.
Yep.
Transfers, NIL, and in the playoff. You're going to lose a game. Very rarely will you see undefeated teams in the regular season from here on out. And I agree. We'll see, but I agree with that. It's all about making the playoff. And if you lose a game or two, so what? If you make the playoff, that's your goal, and you're hitting the reset button. Now, I know a lot of the old tried and true, well, I don't know. Back in the day when Bear was here, it was, all about undefeated and blah, blah, blah. Yeah. Well, we're not living in that era anymore.
Yeah, but Alabama was 9-3. They won 9 games. Well, 9-4. And you got people who wanted to run him out then, imagine if Longshore's the athletic director who's not noted for his patience. And anyway, your point is well made. We mentioned earlier in the week that the coaches poll is out. Texas is number 1. Ohio State is number 2. Guess what? They play in Columbus in the opening game of the season. Whoever loses that game is not out of the championship hunt.
Not at all. And
that's probably the way it should be.
And in that coaches poll, as I looked at that, Barry, and I just kind of, sighed a little bit, went, looks like a bunch of big boys right there. I mean, we can change and adapt and alter and do all these things in college football, but we got the same teams that are always there, that are always talked about. Every now and then you'll have somebody slip in, and then they'll make some adjustments. Last year with Boise and SMU, that ain't happening again. They figured that out, not letting those guys slide in. And you got the same 20 teams or so that are fighting it out, and those are the ones that are going to be playing for a national title. You look at the coaches poll, you look at this futures in college football from a sports book, it's basically the same teams, the big boys.
My problem is, doesn't that get boring after a while? John, meanwhile, with his opposing viewpoints, says, isn't this great? This is awesome.
Yeah.
Ohio State again? Sure. Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
What about
the
USC every year? Absolutely.
Does the NFL get boring? Because
the NFL has some terrible teams.
They do.
Now.
You're right. But I mean, let's face it. The last couple of years and for the foreseeable future, Buffalo, Kansas City, Baltimore. I mean, they're
none of those big markets, by the way. None of those are super huge markets.
But it's all about those quarterback matchups. And, man, we got to see these guys. Detroit, they're going to be good for a couple of more years. Washington, Philadelphia. You're going to see those same – we have seen them, and we're going to see them. As a matter of fact, we see a lot of these teams play each other twice in the regular season. That doesn't seem to get old. I would kind of think it would, but, man, the NFL ratings are through the roof, and I think this Ohio State-Texas game will be through the roof. I mentioned it earlier. That the Ohio State-Texas game, the rating for that game will be better than Texas-Oklahoma.
Oh, yeah. They'll both be really, really good. They'll both be really, really good. But, I mean, that's the way to announce your presence with authority.
Oh, yeah.
Is with a game like that. Stand by. More to come about, let's take a break right here and make a lot of room for CJ Duncan because he's going to be joining us at the top of our second hour. Longshore and McKnight in association with Yellowhammer News, presented by Bud Light.
You're not buying sticks, stems, and pine cones. You're buying premium long-diddle pine straw from River Region Straw. Kenny and his staff have access to the best pine straw in the River Region, full of color that will last all season long. Kenny has locations in Montgomery, Prattville, and Auburn, and no order is too big or too small, from a few bales to an 18-wheeler trailer load. Pickup is available, or your order can be delivered. They can even spread your pine straw if you like. So call or text Kenny today, 669-5959. That's 669-5959 for all of your pine straw needs.
The Bush Guide, cold and smooth survival skills. For a successful stint in the great outdoors, pack accordingly. Place heavy essentials near your spine for stability in rough terrain, with light items near the bottom. Now, you may be wondering, where does the Bush Light go? In your stomach. Bush. Head for the mountains. Enjoy responsibly. Copyright 2023, Anheuser-Busch, Bush Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
At Dixie Overhead Door, we specialize in top-quality garage door solutions for homes across Alabama and Georgia. In need of a garage door repair or a brand new garage door installation, our expert team delivers fast, reliable service with local expertise that you can trust, providing customized solutions and exceptional care every step of the way. Visit us today at DixieOverheadDoor.com and experience the Dixie difference.
All right, welcome back in here, getting close to the top of the hour, about 4 minutes to go. CJ Duncan, Yellowhammer News, will join us in a moment. Speaking of the NFL, Barry, I mentioned, the teams, Philadelphia, Detroit, Baltimore, Kansas City, Buffalo. I'm sure I'm missing some. But as we talk about those teams, is the NFL kind of getting a little like the NBA in terms of top heavy? I mean, we seem to, the last couple of years, had the same teams in the NBA kind of fighting it out a little bit for the top spots. And we seem to be getting that way with the NFL. I mean, the NFL is a quarterback league. And if you don't have a quarterback, you're in big time trouble.
And if you got a great one, it can mask a lot of shortcomings. I like the fact, I do a lot, that the teams, the franchises that John's talking about, Kansas City, Buffalo, Baltimore, Detroit, they are small market teams. The NFL is pleading with the Rams and Chargers to be good. Pleading, excuse me, for the Giants and the Jets to be good. Praying for the Bears to be good. Because the small market teams are doing great. Quick trivia question, because John probably doesn't know. Who played in the NBA Finals this year? A team from Indianapolis and a team from Oklahoma City.
I do know that, Barry.
I love it.
Because won a lot of money.
I knew that was the reason why. Now, in Major League Baseball, that's been the big problem. A team like Pittsburgh, no chance. Team like Kansas City, no chance. But here's what I like. Everybody's talking about the Dodgers and how much incredible money they spent during the offseason, and the Yankees and how monstrously huge their payroll is. Best team in Major League Baseball right now was the team that beat the Atlanta Braves last night, the Milwaukee Brewers.
And Barry, their basketball team a couple of years ago was really good.
They won the NBA championship.
Yeah, they kind of faltered.
Yeah,
and
which I love. Baseball needs that. The Brewers are 25 games over 500. Braves are 18 games under. They play again tonight at 6:15. Their payroll is about a third of what the Dodgers' payroll is.
Yeah,
I love that.
Yeah, you got a team like Kansas City, Tampa, some of these markets, Denver, well, they're terrible, but you know what I mean? They don't have the payroll the Yankees and the Dodgers have. You're right about that. And back to the NFL, no doubt. Right. The NFL would love for the Jets and the Giants and the Bears, who all three of those teams are not going to be very good this year. I think the LA teams are going to be good. They were in my top 10 last week when we went over that. So I think LA is going to be good there. I don't think San Francisco is going to be that great this year, and they're in a tough division. They might finish last in that division in the NFC West. But I think the LA teams are going to be good. New York team's not. I'm trying to think of other. Philadelphia obviously is going to be good. I think the Patriots are going to be improved in the Boston area. Obviously, Detroit's going to be good. I'm trying to think of some of the other bigger market teams. But yeah, you're right. The Northeast, where the NFL kind of dominates, could be a little tough there as well.
Yeah. But which is why I love the fact Kansas City's good and Buffalo's good and everything.
Well, there again, it's about the quarterbacks.
Oklahoma City.
I mean, these teams have got great quarterbacks, might not be in the biggest markets. Another team is not going to be any good, but they're not in a big market as the Pittsburgh Steelers, because I'm not a big fan of Aaron Rodgers. All right, how about this guy? Our man CJ Duncan, Yellow Hammer News, joining us here as he does each and every Wednesday. He is riding around with he's got his Vanderbilt gear
like
on.
It, CJ.
How's it going, guys? Y'all doing all right this morning?
Doing good. Appreciate you joining us. Have you had a chance to yesterday it dropped, so you may not have had a chance. You're a busy guy. Have you had a chance to take a look at any of the Any Given Sunday series on the SEC that dropped yesterday on Netflix?
I have not. I'm excited to watch the Vanderbilt portion of it. I saw we put out some marketing around that. It looks like it's kind of the Diego Pavia kind of story in a sense last year. So I'm looking forward to watching it, but haven't gotten to it. I actually just got back from Mississippi late yesterday evening on a work trip,
Well, bless you for getting up early and being with us. I watched the first one. They've got 7 of them, CJ, and they're all out all at once. I would have spaced them out a little bit. And I watched the first one. The second one will feature Vanderbilt if you guys are looking to find it. It's the second one. And basically, it's all access. It's with the coach, and it's with one of the players. For LSU, it's a linebacker. For South Carolina, it's the quarterback, Lenora Sellers. For Vanderbilt, it's Diego Pavia and Clark Lee. Everybody kept saying, I haven't watched it yet, but everybody kept saying, Vanderbilt, Clark Lee is awesome. I mean, his presence in that was outstanding. But Diego Pavia was a little bit too salty.
Yeah.
I like that, though, right?
But, yeah, I mean, that's what that makes him him, you know what I mean? And that gives him that chip on his shoulder when he's playing in games. And, when it's 3rd and short, you see Vanderbilt using the quarterback to get the first down and not the running back. That kind of chip on the shoulder is kind of what takes him over the top. And it's given us a little attitude as a team. When we were playing Alabama, I could see, once we were starting to have a little bit of a success against them, they started to try to push us around, kind of bully us around, seeing if they could be a little extra physical to get us to back down. But we had guys pushing back, right? And you don't normally see that out of our ball club. So I think they're kind of taking the attitude of Diego. And so if he wants to continue to be salty, I'm all in for it.
But it's Vanderbilt, nobody's not used to that.
Hey, it's the new Vanderbilt.
The new Vanderbilt, there it is. Well, and I will say it's the resurgence of Vanderbilt. And I'll say that because I want to give James Franklin a lot of credit. We were pushing guys around back in the day as well when he was running the show. And there was a lot of very talented players that are still in the NFL to this day that came from that era of Vanderbilt football. So want to give them and a lot of credit for even putting us on the map. And now it's starting to get back to those old ways.
You've talked a lot about Coach Franklin in our visits that we've had with you over the last year. Do you still talk with him? Do y'all communicate? I mean, I know he's very busy. You are too, but obviously your time together made a big impression on you.
Yeah, no, absolutely. We do not communicate, live in 2 totally different lives at this point and 2 separate geographical areas of the world as well. Definitely when he's in Nashville, we all try to make sure we catch him or at least have an opportunity to say hello, but no, not on a consistent basis. But a lot of the guys that I came in with during that time were still in constant communication.
Yeah.
Which brings me to a difficult point. You're talking about the new Vanderbilt and everything, and it reminds me of something I promised somebody I'd ask you. This guy, and I'm not going to name any names, he played in a defensive back position in the Southeastern Conference, and I've known him for years. And And he always loves your segment, CJ. He says, I love CJ Duncan. I'm not going to say his name and everything because it'll be embarrassing. But he said, I have to laugh, though, because I love CJ when he's on with you guys because he's always, and John agrees with this, he's always classy. He's always intelligent. He's always well presented. He's always complimentary. Everybody else. He said, I played against CJ and he would run you over to make a catch first down. You know, he said, all that nice stuff and all that. He said, CJ would wear you out to make a play. And he wanted that to come across on there.
Well, that's funny. You know, my parents would say the same thing, and specifically my mother. She was like, sometimes I don't recognize you once you step inside the white lines. You know, you're doing a lot of talking out there. What exactly are you saying? I said, well, that stays in between the lines, right?
That's right.
So, but yeah, no, I think in order to play at that level and to match the competitiveness of the folks around you, you do kind of have to go to a different space mentally. But it's also very important to know to switch that off when it's time to be around family and loved ones, things like that. But there's no way to survive unless you're a competitive guy out there in the SEC.
Yeah, I've used this line many a time, CJ. You know, what happens at practice, what happens in between the white lines, you don't talk about it at the dinner table with your mother.
Nope. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Yeah. And she understands that because then she had another son 6 years later who was probably even worse than I was. So being a defensive, being a free safety. So
yeah,
I love it. All right. So we're going through preseason camp, helmets, shoulder pads, all that kind of stuff. But Saturday around the league, there are going to be some scrimmages. Tell us what the big difference is there when that first scrimmage comes along.
So this first scrimmage, a lot of what you're going to be seeing are are these televised? That's the first question.
Yeah.
If they're not televised, this is going to be really ramping it up for that first game. You're going to see a lot of plays, a lot of different formations and route combinations that you'll see during the season, right? Because you're really trying to work out the chemistry, and you're kind of hoping that this first scrimmage will allow you to go ahead and pick your starting quarterback. You know, there's a lot of situations around the SEC and just around the country in general where there's a bit of a quarterback competition, or at least that's kind of how they're framing it to their teams, so folks can be ultra competitive early, right? You don't want someone to feel like they've got the job and they're kind of coasting into the season. You want to keep that intensity high from day one all the way into the first game. And so you're hoping after this first scrimmage that you kind of say, all right, guys, appreciate the competition over the last, several months. But here are our starters. This is what the depth chart looks like. And we're going to roll with these guys, and everybody continue to stay engaged, because with injuries or, sometimes guys just kind of, once they get their spot, they kind of tail the other way. So everybody stay engaged, because you're going to play, but these are the guys we're rolling out with first. Mm-hmm. And so that's what you really can probably expect during this first scrimmage. I wouldn't imagine that the starters are going to play forever. They're going to get several drives and probably some situational drives where, say, the coach, even if you started on your own 20 and you get a 3 and out, coach will pick up the ball and say, all right, we got a red zone play. Or, hey, even if you're in the red zone and you get in, he's going to take it all the way back to the other side of the field and say, all right, 2-minute drill. And we need a field goal. All that situational kind of stuff is going to start happening now, just so everybody's aware. Even something as simple as victory formation. The last thing you want is a penalty on victory formation because the right guys are not in the game. Usually in victory formation, the starting running back or the starting receiver may be on the sideline. So it's like, all right, who's the backup for them to make sure that they're in position, they understand how to protect the quarterback during that situation.
It's interesting because there's so many factors involved, like you said, in that first scrimmage. You want to hit. I mean, for some reason, I kind of get it, I guess. The physicality of preseason camp has curtailed over the years. There's not as much hitting, full tackling and all that. But you got to hit. You got to get your depth chart figured. But, man, you can't get anybody hurt in that first preseason scrimmage. There's a fine line there.
Yeah, you won't see any quarterback runs or zone reads and things like that during these scrimmages. You don't want your quarterback to get hit in any way. But you gotta hit though. Even for a defensive back or a linebacker, you gotta get used to form tackling again, because that also saves you from injury. Is hitting a little bit more, and of course those guys, they're thirsty to hit. They hadn't been able to hit anybody other than their teammates all year. So you got to do it, but you kind of, at some point you cut it off, and then you start getting other guys in there, second string, third string, make sure that they understand what exactly we're trying to accomplish this season.
I've always wondered about injuries from people getting hit. It seems like it's a leg that gets turned the wrong way on a run or a route or something like that. I mean, I'm seeing some film yesterday, some guys in shorts and helmets going out for passes, and they're diving and they're on the ground, and the DBs, on top of the receiver, and they're rolling around on the field. I'm thinking those guys could get hurt, landing on their shoulder, turning the knee the wrong way. To me, it's just, maybe a lineman gets rolled over on. I get that, but are there a lot of injuries from just hitting?
The worst injuries are the non-contact injuries, and those are going to happen one way or the other. That could happen in the summer, or that could happen during camp.
That happened with you, right? That's when you had your injury.
Non-contact. Nobody was even around me when that happened, and those are usually the worst: Achilles, ACL, and all these other things. And even as a quarterback, a UCL. You have to have Tommy John surgery. A lot of times, nobody even touches your arm. It's just the ligament snaps kind of thing. And so there's a certain level of kind of toughness. Are you hurt or are you injured, right? And I think that's what a lot of guys got to start asking themselves. And so usually, when you see guys get, I won't generalize it too much, but when it's a contact kind of thing, usually somebody's hurt, right? They can usually bounce back pretty quickly. But if it's non-contact, usually that's a real injury. And so there's kind of a fine line between the two, and it depends on the guy. But you would like to have your guys fresh for, game one, especially these teams that are playing top 10 opponents the first week.
It's interesting you make that distinction, because I've heard coaches say this before to a player: are you hurt or are you injured? Because
is there an injury involved?
You can play hurt.
Yes, absolutely. And most of us do. Especially once you get to about week 6, everybody in the conference is hurt. Let's see who has the mental fortitude to continue to push through that. So.
No question. Final question here for you. Actually, it's not a question. Speak to the Alabama fans viewing here. First coaches poll is out as of Monday. Alabama at number 8, Texas number 1, Ohio State number 2. Alabama opens at number 8. Speak, first of all, about whether or not there's any value to preseason polls. And number 2, to those Alabama fans who are absolutely thunderstruck that they're number 8 in the country, might as well to them be number 80, right?
Well, one, listen, if they want to give up their 8-slot, Vandy will gladly take it. If that's a problem for them. But no, honestly, I think it's good for you. A bit of humility, in something to work toward, and to kind of start the season angry. And that's what you want. I think Bama, at times, just being observant, not necessarily a fan, has gotten comfortable, and the fans have gotten comfortable, and like winning is just normal, and winning is just something that comes easy, and it's not. But starting at number 8, it gives you something to look forward to, and I hope for their sake that it motivates the guys to play a little bit harder against Florida State, go out there and set the tone against them. But preseason polls, I wouldn't put anything to it.
Yeah.
If you play an SEC schedule, you'll have every opportunity in the world to get to number 1. So.
CJ, I'm just curious your thoughts. I've asked several people that cover Alabama on a daily basis. What is different today than 9 months ago when this team embarrassed themselves against Michigan in a bowl game and finished the season 9-4? And I say that because I'm reading and hearing and feeling the hype and the excitement, and things are going to be different, and they're going to make the playoff, and this is a 10-11 win team. What's different?
Well, and to your point, that's why you see the number 8 too. You lose to a Michigan ball club, who were not necessarily playing their starters either, or at least
Yeah.
the majority of their star players. So that's tough. I mean, especially, I think Will Johnson didn't play in that game, and Will
Right.
Johnson looks like he's cornerback 1 for the Cardinals right now.
Yep.
So you're going through that, and that's how you end up at number 8. But as far as Alabama is concerned, what you hope for is that, hey, that left a bad taste in their mouth, right? That's not who we are. That's not what we're about. That's not why we came to this university. And you're hoping that year 2 of a coaching staff, you get a little bit more familiarity, right? Sometimes when a coaching staff comes in, it's happened to me multiple times. The coaches are a little bit hesitant to get on guys
Right.
that first year, because they don't know them very well and they don't know their buttons, right? So if you yell at a certain kid, he may go, in the closet, but if you yell at a certain kid, he may play his best ball. So you're still trying to figure out the feng shui of everything, and so you're hoping in year 2 everybody's a little bit more comfortable with each other. You can challenge each other a little bit more, and that'll lead to more success, right? And then you're also getting used to the playbook. So the receivers are running a little bit faster. They're not hesitating. They're not on the line of scrimmage whispering at their teammates saying, "Hey, what route do I have?" You're not doing any of those kind of things. You're hoping that you're playing faster. And when you play faster, you can play with a little bit more attitude, and assertiveness, and that usually leads to success when you're already a big, fast athlete like they got at Alabama. So I do think there's a big difference, but you still got to roll the ball out and go win it. And so you hope that there's enough leadership on that ball club, in that locker room, outside of the coaches, that kind of took that stance back in the winter, right? If they didn't
Right.
do that back
Mhm.
then, it does not matter. It
You
does not
can't
matter.
turn
It's
it
too
on and
late.
off, right?
It's too
Yeah.
late right now.
Yeah.
You hope that it happened back in the winter, and they've had that attitude all summer.
That's an excellent point. CJ Duncan, Yellowhammer News. Always great to talk with you. We get a lot out of it. Thanks very much.
Thank you, guys. Y'all have a good week.
You too, buddy. We'll talk to you next Wednesday. That's CJ Duncan, Yellowhammer News, joining us here as he does each and every week. Man, what I would love to know who that defensive back is, Barry. You got to tell me when I see you next time.
It was so funny because I don't even remember him playing against Vanderbilt, but I looked it up and he did.
Yep.
He said, CJ, nicest guy in the world. And I believe it. He's so smart and he's so ethical and he's so well presented on our show. His points are always really good and he's classy and he doesn't want to say anything bad about anybody. But man, if it's 3rd and short and you're throwing him a quick slant, he's gonna step through you, stomp on your neck to get that first down.
No doubt about it.
He says that didn't come through on the video, just how much he's going to go get that football. So
that's what the game is all about. All right, need to take a break. When we get back, I guess we'll see how the Daily Dog did yesterday. Yep. Yeah, might as well. Also, our man Josh Harris, the Moneyline Magician, at the bottom of the hour. I know he's getting excited as we get closer to the start of the season. And your chats on our River Region Straw chat line. We got some emails in our email inbox, Longshore McKnight at gmail.com. And look at Chris the Bammer with the comment today.
Yeah, we get a seal of approval from Chris the Bammer. That we're doing something right. Stay with us. It's Longshore and McKnight in association with Yellowhammer News, presented by Bud Light.
Known by avid golfers as one of the most beautiful and challenging stops on the Robert Trent Jones Golf Trail, Cambrian Ridge in Greenville lies just 40 miles from Montgomery. It is well worth the ride for any golfer looking for 27 holes of jaw-dropping golf. The greens have been redesigned to accommodate the higher green speeds associated with their installation of the latest generation of ultra-dwarf Bermuda grass. Cambrian Ridge offers a fully stocked pro shop with all the latest equipment and apparel. Great food and beverages in the clubhouse can be enjoyed both before and after your round. Get your group together and hit the trail. Go to rtjgolf.com/Cambrian Ridge for tee times and more information.
All right, man, grab a Budweiser and take a knee. It is the best time of the year. It's baseball season. That means sunshine. It means behind-the-back peanut tosses. And it means sharing some cold, frosty Budweisers with your boys. Because there's nothing more American than watching America's game with America's beer. So let me ask you something. Are you ready to bring your A game? Are you ready to cheer every frozen rope down the line and amazing catch at the warning track? Are you ready for pitchers' duels and slugfests? Tell me, are you ready for the thrill of an incredible walk-off victory? I can't hear you. Are you ready for Budweiser and baseball? Then get on your feet, raise an ice-cold Bud, and let's make this season larger than life. Great times await. Grab some Buds!
Enjoy responsibly. Budweiser Beer, Anheuser-Busch, St. Louis, Missouri.
Local banking expertise, the newest innovations and technology, personal attention, genuine hospitality. It's all just part of the Riverbank and Trust difference. They invite you to experience it for yourself. Welcome to banking above and beyond at Riverbank and Trust. Locations throughout the river region, locations throughout the state of Alabama. Riverbank and Trust. Okay, about 20 minutes past the hour here, Longshore and McKnight. Glad you are with us here today on the program. Another great segment with our man CJ Duncan. Hope you enjoyed that. Let's see here. What the Phantom?
Here's the deal. I've been in a tizzy during the commercial breaks and stuff because I always write down the Phantom's daily dog. Not that I need to, corroborate or anything. I just like them purely for entertainment purposes only.
Yes.
And I could not find it. I had I have my Phantom notepad I keep here, but I couldn't find it. And then all of a sudden, just during the commercial break, I'm getting frantic. Here it is.
That's
and
right.
I'm looking at it, and I'm surprised that we waited through the commercial break to get it. How about that, huh?
Well, you've got like what they say, you don't drink a wine until it's time.
That's right.
We don't reveal the picks until it's time. And everybody knows it's usually this time of this part of the show in which we do it. But the game took place out in California last night, Barry. So it was kind of a late start time.
Sometimes the Phantom goes early. Sometimes, he pays off, so to speak, early in the day, and you can move on. But the Phantom yesterday, again, it's the Phantom's daily dog. Every day at this time, the Phantom releases a pick. Going to be football coming up soon, and there's NFL preseason games tomorrow night. I think 3 of them. College football begins. The choices will be more plentiful later on for the Phantom, but the Phantom will give you an underdog that can cover, or heck, win the game outright. Yesterday it was in California. It was at Angel Stadium in Anaheim, California.
Yes, it is.
Where the Tampa Bay Rays and the Los Angeles Angels, both slightly under 500, both have losing records.
Yeah.
The Phantom saw something in that, though.
Yeah, we did, Barry. That game, 8:38 was the first pitch in that game, Central Time, 6:38 California time. So you probably didn't stick around to watch the whole game. But, we took a peek here and there. And Barry, the 4th inning for the Rays, basically then that's when I just turned the light off and hit the sack. Yep. 7 runs in the 4th inning.
With a smile on his face.
Yeah. I didn't want to get too giddy because I knew we had 5 more innings to go, but I felt pretty good. Well, after the top of the 4th, we're up 7-0.
Here's the deal. If you would have told the Phantom, hey, Phantom, yikes, man, they're in the late innings, and the Rays have only scored in 1 inning.
Yeah.
Oh, Lord. Well, yeah, that's true. They did only score in 1 inning. It was 7 runs in the 4th. Didn't score otherwise, but it was enough.
You look at that box score, there's a lot of donuts in it except the top of the 4th. 7 runs, and the Angels scored 2 in the bottom of the 5th, 1 in the bottom of the 6th. Wasn't enough. 7-3. The Rays win the game on the road as an underdog.
I remember way back when there was an old manager for the Mets and the Orioles named Davey Johnson. Used to play second base for the Braves many, many, many years ago. And he was a mathematician. He was a math major in college, true story. And he was one of the first ones to really use trends and probabilities and all that kind of stuff. And he said that more times than not, like 75% of the time, the winning team will score more runs in one inning than the other team scores in the entire game.
Huh.
So, you'll have a pitcher's duel, 1-0, a 2-1, games that John cannot make it through. But otherwise, baseball is a big inning game. It's a momentum game. You pour it on in one inning, and all of a sudden you're feeling better and you're feeling more confident, and here come more runs and everything.
Yeah.
Well, that's what happened to the Rays yesterday. The Angels take a look and say, well, we shut them out for 8 innings.
Yeah, they could.
Yeah, but that 7-run fourth is what makes the Phantom another winner in his Phantom Daily Dog.
2-0 already this week, 2 winners. One day, one yesterday. So that's great. It's all good and dandy. Yep. Better than, a stick in the eye. But we got to worry about today. What was then is then. We got to worry about the now. And Barry, you mentioned it. It could be a late pitch. It could be an early pitch. Today, Barry, there are 2 games that are starting before 12 noon, 11:35.
Both in the Eastern Division of the National League.
Yes.
One of them an interleague game.
That's right about that. Yep, 11:35. We've also got a couple of 12-10 games.
Yeah, we've got like 10 games that start before dinner time.
That's right. Speaking of those Rays from last night, they're playing at 3:07 today. 3:07. 3:07.
Which is 1:07 California time.
That's interesting. Well, I don't want to really talk about those games. Barry, this is a before lunch first pitch game, 11:35.
Love them. Daytime baseball.
Daytime baseball, you got to get ready. And okay, I know what people are saying. No, wait a minute here, Phantom. You're going 11:35 here today? What are you thinking about? All right, we're going to go to Pittsburgh. The Pittsburgh Pirates are hosting the San Francisco Giants. And I know what you're saying. Pittsburgh is in the bottom of the National League Central Division.
They're horrendous.
20 and a half games out of first place.
They are having a terrible year.
Uh-huh.
They are 16 games under 500.
But
the Braves are 18 games over under 500.
You got to look a little closer. San Francisco, they're 9 games out of first place. They're at an even 500 on the year. But Barry, here is the telltale sign.
All right.
In the last 10 games, Pittsburgh has gone 7-3.
They're not bad.
San Francisco, 3-7.
Oh.
Somebody's leaking oil. Somebody's put in some STP. And that's the Pittsburgh Pirates. Yep. We're going with the Pirates at home at plus 130. And that game's first pitch is in about 3 hours. So you better get ready.
There you go. How about that? Yep, you could be a winner before you even get to your ham sandwich at lunch.
That's right.
Or at least well on your way.
Pirates have a big inning like the Rays did last night. Hey.
Wrap it up early. I like it. There's your Phantom Daily Dog of the day. And again, tomorrow should be interesting because you'll have baseball tomorrow, and the Phantom has been killing it in his Daily Dog in baseball. But also bear in mind, and I have been informed that this is eligible, 3 games, NFL preseason. Do people? I remember the first time, the first year I was with John, and we were talking about this, and I've never bet on anything in my life. I said, can you bet on the NFL preseason games? And he looked at me as though I had been dropped out of a Martian airship somewhere. He looked at me like he thought I was joking.
Yeah.
And I did. Can you? I mean, it's not, they don't count or anything. Can you? Are you asking me if you can bet on NFL preseason games? I said, yeah. He said, you were born and raised in America, right?
Yeah. I think my response was, they're playing, aren't they?
Yeah, well, which is always his response. So you do have 3 tomorrow that may or may not. We're not going to.
You never know.
We're not going to presuppose.
Indianapolis at Baltimore, Cincinnati at Philly, and Vegas at Seattle. Barry, it's an NFL Network doubleheader tomorrow.
Yep, you got Colts Ravens at 6 on the NFL Network. You got Raiders and the Seahawks at 9 on the NFL Network. 6:30 Bengals Eagles. I don't know that that's going to be televised, although the Eagles are the defending Super Bowl champions. So it could be another baseball game. Could be anything in our Phantoms Daily Dog. When we come back, our Moneyline magician Josh Harris will join us on Longshore and McKnight in association with Yellowhammer News, presented by Bud Light.
Why Hands? At Hands Heating and Air, you get this area's highest ranked service provider with 24-hour repair service, no overtime charges, and their same-day service guarantee. Plus, instead of other companies' 30-day repair warranty, Hands gives you a 3-year repair warranty. Hands Heating and Air is here for you 24/7, 365. And service is not just something they do, it's their way of operating, for you in mind. All of Hands employees are trained to adhere to this standard. They work hard to ensure that this standard is maintained, and they are constantly looking for new ways to better serve you. Call Hands Heating and Air today at 508-5382. That's 508-5382, or find them on the web at 834hands.com.
It doesn't matter if you're running drills at the park, playing pickup on a Saturday, or sinking the final putt. When you compete with your friends with Michelob Ultra on the line, competition isn't that friendly. The trash talk, next level, and the stakes, oh, those are crystal clear. With only 95 calories and superior smooth taste, it's the ultimate trophy. Superior is worth playing for. Michelob Ultra, superior light beer. Enjoy responsibly. Copyright 2025, Anheuser-Busch Michelob Ultra Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
The Destin Connection Seafood Market offers the freshest seafood direct from the Gulf of Mexico with deliveries daily. Snapper, grouper, pompano, flounder, copia, along with medium, large, and jumbo shrimp, hand-picked crab meat, and chucked oysters. They can even cook your order for easy, quick pickup. The Destin Connection can make a po' boy with any of their seafood items that folks in New Orleans rave about. Go by and see them at 3750 Norman Bridge Road or call 288-4272 for pickup orders.
All right, there we go. We got about 29 minutes to the top of the hour. As we do each and every Wednesday, our man Josh Harris, the Moneyline magician, joins us here on the program, and always getting excited about the start of the college football season. Couple of weeks away, practices underway, scrimmages upcoming. Josh, how you doing today?
Doing great. Coming on and hearing football talk about football that's actually on TV gets me excited.
Yep.
Not a rerun. We can get into a preseason game if we throw a little bit on it. We'll be all right.
Oh,
that's what I want to address real quick now that Josh is on, because I'm starting to get texts. Josh was in the green room waiting when he heard me mention. It's a true story that I asked John the first year we were together 20-something years ago if you can do they bet on NFL preseason games. And Josh, I'm already getting texts from my buddies who said, do you make your own soap? I mean, did you come to work in a horse and buggy? You know, I mean, are you Amish? Come on. Have you ever done that?
Bet on a preseason game? Absolutely. Are you kidding me?
That's the look John gave me when I asked him that 28 years ago.
Of course. I mean,
what is this, a trick question?
Yeah.
You can't enjoy it. I mean, you can enjoy it otherwise, but it's not a real game. But it is that much more enjoyable. It's like my dad and my brother and myself sit around, and when I come back in town, we bet on games. And my mom's like, why do y'all? I don't understand. She sits there and watches bet and get in it. I was like, can you not just watch it? I'm like, no, I can't watch San Diego State versus UTSA and care otherwise. If I don't have a little action on it. Unfortunately, probably not a good thing, but that's just the facts of the matter.
Well, yeah, no doubt. I mean, it's like I also mentioned this to Barry years ago. He said something to the extent, do you play golf for fun? I went, what? No, I'm not going out there to play golf if I don't have anything on it. I mean, hey, man, let's go walk 18 holes today. For what? How much we playing for?
That's my difference. I do like gambling on golf, but golf is such a sport to where you got to play well, or else I'm going crazy. I mean, money's on the line, great. I can't find high stakes people, but if I'm playing bad, if I'm losing money, that just makes it worse.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
But I don't. If I'm playing, nothing's worse than a bad round of golf. I mean, I don't care if you're betting on it or anything. It's the most frustrating thing. Fortunately, that's a good first world problem to have in my life. Is my most frustrating thing is a bad round of golf.
But the infuriating thing about it is nothing is better than a great round of golf. You know,
yeah.
I mean, if it wouldn't be so bipolar, it might be a little bit more enjoyable. You know, I mean, you sit there, I hate this game, I hate this game, I hate this game. Then you hit one stiff pin high to within 2 inches. I love this game.
That's what keeps you coming back. Yeah, you have a couple of bad holes, but you finish up strong. Maybe go, birdie out on the last two, whatever it may be. And you sit there and go, man, I'm feeling pretty good about my game. It brings you back, no doubt. All right, Josh, I mentioned this earlier. I know we're a couple of weeks out, but I'm a little tired of the giddy factor. I mean, I know what these folks are supposed to be doing that cover these teams on a daily basis, but everything's good. Everybody's happy. I think they're maybe setting their fan base up for some expectations that they're just not going to be able to reach. Your thoughts about that? I mean, I think once we get through these scrimmages coming up over the next few Saturdays, we'll have a better feel and some information will be a little more solid. But I'm saying tap the brakes. I'm reading and hearing too much giddiness from fan bases and people that cover these teams.
I think that's the off season for you. You got to get the fans hyped. You got to keep everybody positive, and that's, like Alabama's doing a great job of that. I come on this every week and talk about how great of an off season we've had. Right? We didn't lose any players. This is our year. We're good. We're good. We're good. Now, that first game against Florida State, if we come out and Thomas Run Your Mouth Castellanos comes out and takes it to us, we're gonna be having a different conversation. So that's how it is. Are these boys ready to get out on the field and play? Scrimmage is great. They're playing against their buddies, and there's a little bit of competition, but is the team together, number one, which nowadays is going to be one of the hardest things to do, is see, can these guys play together? Because you've got so many new faces. You've got people getting paid. You've got people that are started or expect to start it from other schools that are coming in.
Right.
These guys get on the same page and play as a team. Like, there's talent out there. I honestly think that's what's going to start making the big difference in football that you've seen in basketball for so many years. You see these teams like San Diego State or, Gonzaga for so many years. They've got players that have been there for 4 or 5 years.
They're older teams.
They don't have that many players in the NBA. Right? They might have a couple. Gonzaga does. It's probably a bad example, but these teams that have played together for so long, they end up doing well in the season and at the end. Whereas there might not be the most talented players, but we've got the talent at Alabama. I think a lot of the big schools have the talent. That's the whole thing now, is anybody that's got money's got talent. So can you get these guys to work together? And everyone's saying, yeah, it's great. Everybody's getting along, other than the stuff you hear coming out of Georgia. But other than that, you're pretty good.
Even if you win that Florida State game 14-10, though, you're going to have a lot of people.
How good does Alabama have to look in that game? That's a good point Barry brings up. It's 14-10. They're farting around, and you're throwing
it's a win. It's a W.
Stuff at the TV, but you're going, whoa, wait a minute. Ty Simpson, give me a break. No running game. Got to be kidding me. What's going on here?
Well, it's one of those teams like we've been playing at the beginning of the year where they're big name, like Miami, like, Virginia Tech's the world, right? They're big names, but Florida State was horrendous last year.
Yeah.
And they were really bad. So even if we come out and kill them, listen, you ain't going to win until you win, right? At Alabama. Other schools maybe, but at Alabama, at Texas, at Georgia, at these big dogs, it gives you another week of breathing room, right? Unless you're Saban, right, where people forgive you. But other than that, it just gives you another week so you can breathe and go back. That's why DeBoer has impressed me so much. Is this is a lot of pressure, and he seems as cool, calm, collected, and happy-go-lucky as any coach I've seen. So
Franchione always looked as though he was, with his very next step, he was determined to, throw himself off the top step of Bryant Denny all the time. I don't think he handled those expectations well.
No, he did not. He was scared of the shadow.
Option. What an idiot.
Yeah. Now, on the other side of things, we've been talking about this a little bit. Yesterday, the 7 episodes dropped on Netflix of Any Given Saturday, which is Netflix's all-access look into last year's football season in the SEC. And I only watched one. I only watched the very first one. I know a lot of people just immediately all 7 all at once. They're the same people who ruin a buffet for you. But I didn't see this. But I've heard about it. I heard about it on auburnundercover.com, auburnsports.com. They mentioned this. I think Auburn is going to be in like the 3rd of 7 episodes. The first one was South Carolina and LSU. But Auburn is in the 3rd one. And, John, this is like another Pat Dye wrestling with those angels, Reggie Slack beside him kind of thing that Auburn fans love. Evidently, there is a clip that is posted to Netflix's Twitter account from that Auburn episode where Hugh Freeze is giving a speech to the team about the seniors. His voice is breaking. He's got tears coming down his face, I guess. And he says, quote, "You older guys, I'm sorry you're not going to get to experience the fullness that is coming to Auburn football. You won't get to experience the fullness of it." And then he read a text from Eugene Asante, who was the captain last year, playing in the NFL right now, and everything. And I'm telling you, Auburn fans are loving that, eating that up with a spoon. I know there's a certain faction that's throwing popcorn at the screens, and yeah, right, 8-4, all that kind of stuff. Do the Auburn fans have legitimacy and jumping in with Hugh Freeze about the fullness of Auburn football coming? Do you see that?
The fullness of what? Yeah.
Hugh Freeze did say that Auburn, to be successful at Auburn, you need length and girth in this league. So that's a big quote from you. That's really exciting, probably getting the boys going. But
yeah, and all the Beavis and Buttheads out there and Lane Kiffin are making fun. Hugh Freeze is talking about length and girth.
But I mean, sure, Auburn is always scary. They've got to be back soon. So like, I'm not going to sit here and say he's full of crap. Auburn's dead. They're a ticking time bomb. They can't be bad for forever. So it's only a matter of time.
It's too important to them.
It's too important. They've got the players. They've got the resources they need to be successful in Auburn. And I'm not going to sit here and say they're going to be they're going to be awful, but Jackson Arnold doesn't quite do it for me. Hugh Freeze doesn't do it for me. It's just, I wouldn't be excited if I was them, but I don't think they are. If you talk to any Auburn fans right now, they're not excited. I mean, they're excited that football is coming back, but they're like, that's what we've talked about this in the past. We need Auburn fans to start being excited again, talking some smack, Auburn being good, the rivalry coming back.
Yes, totally agree. Because you're talking about it helps a program like this. Over the years that Barry and I've been together, when both Auburn and Alabama were good, it was beautiful. It was the best.
Easy coming to work.
I'm with you there. I'll say this, Josh. I mentioned it earlier in the program. I was in New Orleans over the weekend, went into Caesars, went to the sports book, checked a couple of things out, made a couple of wagers on some futures. Bet Auburn at over 7.5. Josh, if they get through the month of September, they're winning at least 8 games. And what I mean by that, they got to go to Baylor, which I think they're going to win the game. They got back-to-back road games at Oklahoma A&M. That could be tough. Georgia's up next. If they can get through that gauntlet with maybe 2 losses at the max, But if they're less than that, this team's winning more than 7.5 games. I'm already on them at over 7.5. I think this team at least wins 8, but I think there's a good shot they can win 9.
Are they on the road the first 3 games of the year? Is that what you just said?
No. Their first 3 big games are on the road at Baylor. Then they're home against Ball State and South Alabama. Then they go to Oklahoma and to A&M.
Yeah, I mean, that's tough. I mean, if you can get out of that, if you can take one of those road games, you take Baylor, win those other 2, you're in good shape. I think they probably will come back with 2 losses. If they don't, then they're not only going to win more than 7 games, it's going to be a little scary because that's a gauntlet to start off.
It is
off the year, and you start off with a gauntlet and you go 4-1 or even 3-2 in that gauntlet, and you beat Georgia or you beat at Oklahoma. That's a good start to the year. I mean, that gives you that makes you a little bit scary, and that's all Auburn's got to do is be scary to make this. They don't have to be the best. Let's not go that far. We don't need that. We just need them to be competitive, and then we've got the rivalry back. So.
And then it's easier on me and John to, it's just,
I miss our Auburn participation. I mean, we got some doozies out there that I know are watching and I know they're listening. Maybe they hadn't hit that chat line yet. Maybe they hadn't hit that email, but they're there. And
no
boy,
doubt. John
I'm
knows
just, looking
I've
forward to
seen
it.
plenty of people in the chat calling me some dumb bammer and all that stuff. Come say something.
Yeah.
Come defend yourself. Say something.
Catch me outside.
I am a dumb bammer, but that doesn't mean Alabama isn't good at football.
Yeah.
Right, come say something.
This is what we're also getting reaction. Josh is great. I always enjoy his segment. Did Josh leave his taser on in the background?
That's AccuShield Visitor Management Kiosk for senior living communities out throughout the country and Canada.
How
if
about
you're in the
that?
senior living community, you're running one, feel free to reach out, improve your security, improve your reputation. Call AccuShield.
That's off the top. That sounds like something he said before.
No, so funny enough, when COVID hit, we put this is a great story. Everybody wanted one of these because they had a thermometer. They could ask screening questions. So Clemson reached out to us and they said, we want to put this in our athletic facility. And so I'm sitting there like, this is awesome. So I go to Clemson. We end up installing the kiosk. They give me crap. They go and show me all their trophies. This is when we beat you. This is when we beat Alabama. It was Thad Turnipseed.
Oh, yeah.
Sure.
So,
I love that guy.
So our CFO and him are cousins. So anyways, he reached out to us. We put this system in. It's a newer system. So when we added the thermometer to it, so it was a new addition to it. So, it takes your temperature when you come in. It asks screening questions. That was big for COVID. So we obviously don't do that anymore, but Clemson, we put it in, all their players went through it. We get a call from Clemson saying, hey, your thingy's broke. Your machine's not working. All our temperatures are reading high. And so we look into it. I'm like, I don't think it's broken. Now we looked in, it looks like it's working well. And it's broken. So I look in that night, I get home and I'm like, I'm upset that Clemson's upset about the system and it's not working for him. And I look on SportsCenter, 9 players from Clemson have tested positive for COVID. I said, I told y'all this thing was working. Oh, it was working.
Man,
that's in effect, that's a testimonial to its efficiency.
Right.
Yeah. I love it. All right, got to wrap up here, but hey, look, Chris the Bammer on the chat line. Josh pumping up the Albs. Hey, there you have it.
They got to do something.
Yeah.
They got to do something.
It's too important to them not to do something.
Go get it, little brother. We're proud of you. You can do this. How about that?
On that note, there you go. And Josh takes his leave right here. See,
Roll Tide. See y'all.
See you
Appreciate
next
you
week.
very much.
Josh Harris, the money line magician. Daniel Barry, Daniel's on to something here. I saw this in the chat room while we were interviewing Josh. I'm telling you, Bama fan, I'm telling you. Just get ready.
In 2013, Gus ran only 8 plays over and over, but no one could stop Nick Marshall. if Gus has his quarterback like Marshall, it will not be a blowout in Tallahassee, Florida.
So this guy from Boston College,
Castellanos, yeah.
I saw him beat Florida State last year. I think it was the first game overseas.
It was the first game, and it was in Tallahassee, and everybody's like, oh, BC is right. This guy's great and everything. Turns out the Florida State stunk out loud.
But you got to think, Gus is kind of sneaky. I'm wondering what's going on during the summer preseason camp going on right now. Is something brewing down there?
Always makes John nervous because in his mind, he's seeing Gus over there. He's got a beaker of this and it's bubbling, and he's got a little test tube here, and it's some sort of red liquid with a flame underneath it. And John's saying, I know he's doing something. I know something's going on over there in that laboratory of his.
Like the mad scientist. So, Bama, I hope the defensive staff in Tuscaloosa is figured this out or is aware of this because, Gus, I'm just telling you, get ready.
And again, if you win it 14-10 or 17-14 late field goal, it's a win, but you ain't going to be happy. And I mean, this is the same fan base who was screaming and yelling about Jalen Hurts being terrible and got to get rid of him and all this kind of stuff. And Jalen Hurts is now a Super Bowl champion winning quarterback, and he has scored more touchdowns in the NFL over the last 3 years than anybody. And you guys, you'll claim him now, but when he went to Oklahoma, a lot of you guys were like, whew.
I'm just saying this, and I like Jalen Hurts, don't get me wrong. But if Jalen Hurts played for the New Orleans Saints, he'd be terrible.
Well, he ain't gotten, it's because the Saints are terrible.
Wow.
Archie Manning, he could have won Super Bowl after Super Bowl if he played for the Dolphins or the Steelers at the time. Nobody,
if Bryce Young were not with the Panthers, he'd be a better NFL quarterback.
Here's a word to the wise. Watch out for Bryce Young and the Panthers. They have turned a corner.
They're going to have a better year. I'm with you there. I don't know if they can beat
year.
Tampa in that division, but they're going to give them a run for their money. Falcons and the Saints, I ain't buying them.
Well,
all right.
He's John Longshore. I'm Barry McKnight. Gurn Jr.'s Victoryland 777 Topic Wheel is coming up. It's all presented by Yellowhammer News in association with Bud Light.
Extra, extra. The referral perks just doubled at Dixie. Now through November 30th, get $50 for you and $50 off for your friend when you refer them to Dixie. That's a $100 value. Current Dixie customers get 10% off any repair just for being loyal. Dixie Cares Plan members get an unbeatable 20% off. Plus, you can finance anything over $250. Double the rewards, double the savings.
Miss your chance to win big at Victoryland Casino. Play the latest, hottest, most exciting games around with fun bonuses and big jackpots. Don't miss out on your free play. Stop by Player Rewards today and check out this month's exciting free play promotions. Come see why our players keep coming back. You'll have more fun at Victoryland Casino, where you can be a winner too. Victoryland Casino, located off I-85 exit 22, Shorter, Alabama. Must be 21 or older.
Okay, we got about 8 minutes or so on this edition of Longshore and McKnight. I see the Victoryland 777 Topic Wheel in the warm-up room. It's ready to go. I see we have, 8 panels today, 8 topics that we have not seen. Have no idea what this is.
Well, I see 5, but hey, we'll see.
I'm sorry. There's what I say. Yeah. All right. Got it.
777 Topic Wheel presented by Victoryland 777 Casino, exit 22, I-85 in Shorter, Alabama, where you can be a winner too. Do we stay on close call? No, we go salty. Salty.
Oh.
Yeah. No more smelling salts in the NFL.
What?
George Kittle interrupted Fred Warner's interview on TV. He had a grievance. I didn't realize this. Beginning this season, teams are prohibited from providing or supplying ammonia in any form, ammonia capsules, inhalers, ammonia in a cup, any form of smelling salts for the entire game. I don't know why, John. Maybe it masks the symptoms of a concussion. Maybe it's a performance-enhancing thing. Quick question for you.
Okay.
Have you ever been administered smelling salts?
Never administered. I've smelled one.
Okay.
Before,
I'm the same way.
Yeah.
I've never had my bell rung or anything like that, but I have smelled it. That stuff is no freaking joke.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
And I guess the point of it is to clear your head a little bit. I don't know.
Yeah. Get you back in there. Smelling salts, evidently to clear your head a little bit, and they'll throw you back in there, even though you might be suffering from a concussion. I think.
Why do they call it salts?
Well, a lot of that stuff. I mean, why do they call bath salts salts? Maybe that's why it's salty. You know what? Salts? You putting salt in your bath water? Smelling salts? Salt spas? I don't know. Yeah, it's a good question.
I've always
maybe
wondered.
there's salt. I don't know.
All right, let's spin it again. 4 to go. Victoryland 777 Topic Wheel. You can be a winner too at Victoryland, exit 22 off I-85, Shorter, Alabama.
Don't they have bigger issues in the NFL than smelling salts?
No, I did this a time or 10.
Playing hookies. Is it playing hooky in college? Rory McIlroy. They've got one more leg left before the FedEx Cup playoffs. No, it's the first leg of the playoffs, the FedEx St. Jude Classic. He's number 2 player in the world, champion of the Masters. He's not playing this week. The top 70 qualified for the St. Jude. The top 50 then moving on to the BMW champion before the top 30 vie for the Tour Championship. Rory says, I need some rest. You know, I'm not playing that. I don't need to win this tournament or play well in this tournament to qualify. I could use some rest. I'm in anyway. Let me take this week off and then really hunker down for the BMW and then the FedEx Championships. Taking the tournament off?
I'm sure the folks at the St. Jude would love to have Rory there, but hey, he's worked his way into the position that he's in.
Yeah.
And if he has the luxury of maybe taking a little time off to heal and recuperate and rest for what's bigger down the road.
Yeah.
Man, I hate it for you, but you know, it is what it is.
Yeah. That's
okay.
a good get there, Gurren. That's a good one. Because that happened last week. Scotty Scheffler, he didn't participate in the Wyndham last week because didn't need to.
That's right.
All right.
Okay, 3 more to go. Let's spin away. Yellow, green, and blue, and it's going to land on
close call.
It's got to be baseball. I'm thinking baseball. Nope. Wait a minute.
All right.
Ooh.
The Seattle Kraken chased by a bear. Okay. All right. You got to run this. Kraken NHL team.
Guys out doing a little fishing.
Yeah.
Salmon fishing.
No. Those things are no joke.
I mean, that bear likes those fish, and he don't want you.
Yeah.
Well, there's the mascot.
I think they were trying to do a little promotional video for social media. Nope. Ooh, don't kid around with those. Here we go.
Yeah.
Here we go. Now's the time to break out into a high-pitched shriek and run as fast as you can.
Now, what
those bears aren't those broken down bears like you see at the zoo. Those bears will eat your face.
Yeah, they don't want you eating their salmon. That's
their salmon.
What sport is that?
That's hockey. It's NHL. Okay. Seattle Kraken is the newest NHL franchise.
What's a Kraken?
The Kraken is a sea monster.
Oh, okay.
It's a legend. It's not a real thing. It's a legendary sea monster. You saw it in Pirates of the Caribbean, all that kind of stuff. So,
now we know. All right, 2 more to go.
Should not have a mascot that does not end in S anymore.
Yeah, come on.
All right.
No way. All right. Coming home. Who's heading back home? Let's see what we got here.
Oh, Keenan Allen. Yep.
Oh, okay.
Yep. He was with the Bears. He's like one of the all-time leading receivers in Chargers history. Went with the Bears. Love him. But Mike Williams retired. Oh. Williams, big, strong receiver, had enough of the NFL. Keenan Allen's back. I'm not sure he's a shell of what he used to be. Their best receiver, there it is right there, Ladd McConkey, who is basically Hunter Renfrow, but better. McConkey was all that. Remember him at Georgia?
I do.
He was great. Keenan Allen's going to be there, but don't expect the same Keenan Allen you saw in the first 11 years with the Chargers.
Not.
But he is.
But he's got the lightning bolts. I like that. Good move.
There you go. All right.
One more. Got to spin it to make it official on the Aaron Jr. Victoryland 777 Topic Wheel.
Is this Jameis Winston?
Or could this be a Rolling Stones album?
Oh, yeah. Sticky Fingers.
Yeah. Let's see what we got here.
Oh, no.
Uh-oh. That's not good.
Oh, no. Former Miami Heat security officer has sticky fingers. Marcos Thomas Perez, 5 years. Part of the security detail on the old Heat arena. And he was able several times to sneak in with his special security key. Stole a couple of jerseys. The big one is, you look right there, the LeBron James NBA Finals jersey. He sold it for $100,000. That's a ton more than it's worth. Yeah. Later sold for $3.7 million.
Oh, man,
in this day and age, with technology, with cameras, with security footage, with the ability to crystallize a camera picture with all of these security things, fingerprint. Robbing banks ain't where it's at no more.
No, it isn't.
Stealing stuff, it ain't the thing. You are going, it's like Liam Neeson said in Taken, they are going to find you. They're not going to kill you, but there's no future in that, kids. And don't do crack.
Don't do that. You're right about that. So, hey, Barry, tomorrow, Jason Caldwell, Auburn Undercover, will join us, get an update on what's going on with the Tigers in preseason camp.
Yep.
Rodney Orr, the Tider Insider, brought to you exclusively by the Destin Connection Seafood Market, joins us at the top of hour number 2. I believe Brian Reynolds of RTJ Golf at Cambrian Ridge in Greenville will stop by tomorrow as well. So we got a lot going on the program for a Thursday and some NFL preseason as well.
Maybe factored in tomorrow's Phantom Dog of the Day as well. Deeply appreciative for some really good work on camera from Josh Harris, our Moneyline Magician, and also on the road, CJ Duncan, Yellowhammer News.
Great.
For Gurn Jr., our producer, and John Longshore, I'm Barry McKnight. Longshore and McKnight is presented by Yellowhammer News in association with Bud Light.